Welcome to episode 2 of Let's Talk Theater Tips and Tricks, and today I'm going to be talking about finding the perfect song, because we all know that preparing for an audition that has to have a song it's kind of hard. It's very hard for me, especially. I'm going to add a little bit of a disclaimer here because some people don't pick out a song like this for their audition, because some people audition more professionally, talking about bars and this song or all that. This is just how I pick out a song for my audition process for my local community theater, and this is for people who do local community theater. Since I'm not at Broadway level yet, I really want to be on Broadway level, but I've got a long way to go. This is probably going to be one of the shorter episodes because it's just simple and I'm not going to go into great detail. I'm just giving you a few simple tips and tricks. So enough yapping, let's go ahead and get started with my first tip. So my first tip is find a song that has a similar beat or style like the show you are auditioning for. So, let me set an example. I auditioned for a teen camp of Chicago in the summer. I played the role of Annie and Harry's mistress. Yet, for my audition, I had to sing half of a song. I can't exactly remember how many bars they asked for, but I think the song lasted from around a minute to a minute 15. So, when I was looking for a song, I had to think of how the beats were in the songs and how the style is. Like, the style is jazzy and just, cool. And it's got that little spunk to it, the 1920s retro sound to it. So, I opted for a song in a different musical that had similar styles and beats. This doesn't have to be some cases, but if they want to see you in a role that will fit you perfectly, you need to have a song that matches the musical. But my second tip, do not use a song from the musical. It just doesn't sound right. It's like an unspoken rule. It's just, you don't do it. And also, you need to sing from a musical if you're auditioning for a musical. That's also another important thing. Because if you're auditioning for a musical and you audition with a pop song, those two things are completely different. Because Broadway shows are different than your regular pop music or rock music. They just have a different style to them. They're its own kind of genre. I guess you can say they're their own kind of genre. Which, this next point kind of ties in with, keeping it in the same genre and keeping it in the same style of Broadway and so forth. And this point is, make sure the lyrics are appropriate. Now, you can take this two different ways. First, you can take it as keep the lyrics clean, no cussing, no foul language, no talking about anything weird or anything. But some shows want that, but that's usually focused towards your community theater or your school theater. When you're auditioning for something, they usually want it to keep it appropriate. The second meaning of that bullet point is make sure that the lyrics are matching the show that you're in, which includes having the same beat, the same melody, the same style, or just anything like that. I'm going to say it again, do not audition with a Taylor Swift song or a Billie Eilish song or a Doja Cat song if you're auditioning for a Broadway musical or just a musical in general. The casting directors will look at you like you have just ruined their day. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but they will look at you like that. They'll give you that look and they'll just lie to your face saying that's good. And then turn around and you do not get cast in that show or you get ensemble. It's because you auditioned with a Taylor Swift love story. And the last bullet point I have, which is probably the one I'm going to talk about a lot, is make sure the song is in the right key for you. So if you're an alto, soprano, a mezzo-soprano, or a baritone or a tenor, if you're a belter or an opera singer, find a song that, yes, matches the musical, but isn't in the musical, but also shows off your ability to sing a beautiful song. Because if you go in and you're a soprano and you're a belter and you sing an alto cheesy song that really doesn't show off your main good points of your vocal cords, you are not going to get casted a very nice role. So I tend to be a mezzo-soprano. Sometimes I like to sing an alto if it's a certain song, but I also love to belt. I like to tend to choose songs that have my good vocal range for mezzo-soprano and also have some good parts where I can belt a little bit. If you're an opera singer, just go find something from the Phantom of the Opera or something. Just find a song that just matches your voice perfectly. And, find a song that also is the right key for you. Don't sing anything that's too high for you or way too low for you. It just takes away, the ability to show off what you're able to do. And we wouldn't want that, do we? Because we want to get those good roles that you can slay the day away on. I'm sorry that I didn't have anything else to say. These are just the main things. I didn't want to stay on this topic for too long because I have so many more podcasts to get through. And this is just a smaller topic for me as well as the monologue. And those two are just small topics for me. But if you need any more advice on how to find the perfect audition song, go to Catherine Steele. She has some of the best tips and tricks. She's not a big poster of them anymore, but if you go to her older videos, she has Broadways that you do not need to audition with, or songs you do not need to sing, or monologues that you don't need to use, and she even lists some that you can use, the ones that would really show off your abilities in an audition. I'm going to say it again, thank you so much for listening, and make sure to like and subscribe. It just supports me, and it also gives me the motivation to make more podcast series. And we all know that we love a good podcast here and now. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to episode 3 that is starting in 3, 2, 1.